I've said it before and I will say it again. Love Island Australia is just top tier. It's just so good. You mean to tell me the season doesn't even have a Casa Amor and it's giving Casa Amor chaos regardless? It's just, it's so good. It's so good. But I have a bone to pick with y'all because, baby, let me give you some insight on how I edit these videos, okay? I talk in a cadence where, oh, hold on, let me messing up my setup. I talk in a cadence where I leave pauses for where I want to cut out and like put in clips. I rarely ever watch my video back in full. So baby, when I went to the comments, I was like, what's going on? Let me record this now before I forget what I want to say because I checked the comments and y'all was cooking me. And I'm like, what did I say? Let me clarify some things about Trent, okay? Because some people seem to believe I'm now a Trent stan. Never that. Literally never that. Everything I've said about Trent before yesterday's episode remains true. In the case of Georgia and Trent, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I have to side with him if I was to say who's in the right. At face value, it's Trent. Whether you like him or not, I do believe that if you're pursuing somebody, you need to pursue somebody who is equally pursuing you back. And unfortunately, Georgia was not that. And I said, I'm mad at her for making me side with him because I do not want to. I never want to. I was almost repulsed. I almost projectile vomited when y'all were like, ugh, you're a Trent stan now? Ew. No, definitely not. Now, in regards to the condoms, I only made a comment about them because the narrator made a comment about them. Genuinely, it did not click to me that maybe he was forcing himself, potentially, we don't know, on her. And that could have been what made her get the ick. Somebody said that in the comments and I genuinely was like, I didn't even think of that. Listen, if you know me, you know if y'all want to unsubscribe, I don't care. It's a TV show. Like, honestly, and I don't say that to be callous. It's just like, if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Like, it's totally fire. But I was like, damn, I'm being cooked. What's going on? Guys, I will never please don't disrespect me in that way. Please. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island Australia Season 5, Episode 19. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So the episode starts with Lucinda, who's in her feelings because she's wondering if she's missing the signs when it comes to Zach.
I think that he loves you. I don't think that he's out here playing a game with you. I don't think that Zach's that kind of person.
I don't know, it was just so weird that he was up there and also just being so cocky. Like, why is he so cocky?
Lucinda needs to control her emotions about things that are out of your control. I know you can laugh it off, but it becomes annoying. You know what I mean?
I just feel like this is the last thing I need right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need Reed to sit in his corner. Sit in your corner. Why are you talking? Why are you talking? Please be quiet. You can't keep a girl to save your life. Please. Don't want to hear from you. I don't think I've seen Lucinda always have an issue with the public's perception. We haven't seen that as the audience. They've probably seen it behind the scenes and stuff. But she is kind of easily impressionable. But here's the thing. In the same way that she has seen the concerning behavior come from Zach and continues to be with him, he has seen that she is easily influenced like that, and he continues to be with her. Yeah, it might be annoying after a while, but that's your girl. You love her, right? Okay, go and reassure her. Don't know what to tell you after that. Go and reassure her. End of story. And for Lucinda, the things that we've seen are the things that you've seen. You've chosen to turn a blind eye to it. You laid your bed. You made your bed. Lay in it. That's how it goes, right? Girl, sleep with dogs, get fleas, okay? What all the sayings, do them. Chloe admitted to hearing about the concerning behavior that came from Reed, but she's going to proceed regardless. You made your bed. lay in it. I at that point, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You can't. There's nothing you can do or say at this, unless it's movie night, honey. Because Chloe had some strong reactions, and I said, oh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, these women keep getting told about Reed, and they pursue him anyway. So I mean, at that point, what can you do? Tasia unfortunately learned the hard way. All right, and she's now considering Trent, and I'm like, girl, it's the same story with Trent. It's the same story. Do not do it, okay? Because, let me reiterate this again, because some people now think I'm a Trent stan. He's still an asshole. It was just that one scenario being paired up with what's her name? Georgia, where I'm just like, well, if I had to pick a side, unfortunately, I had to pick a side with him. But don't get it twisted. Not a Trent fan whatsoever. Nate is still simping over Georgia. And at this point, honey, he's just a lost cause.
Like, even if your decision was to stay with Trent, I wouldn't have sent you home. If you didn't know, I kind of like accepted you coming back in. But like, I think like, from what I can tell, like, I think that we do have something like dead-ass genuine.
I'm here and I'm genuine. Definitely second life, and I'm not gonna waste it.
If Georgia even breathes in the direction of another man, I'm gonna need Nate to drop her. But will he? Probably not. Listen, I love a lover boy because I am a lover girl. I want somebody who's just as in the trenches as I am, but goodness sakes, like Nate, it's embarrassing at this point. Like it's so sad to watch. I don't know what kind of reassurance Georgia is giving him that we don't get to see, but what we have seen to me is not sufficient enough for me to be sold on this girl. That's just my personal opinion. Lucinda has been kind of avoiding Zach, and Zach is tired of it. He is unrelenting, wanting to talk to her, and she finally caves.
I kind of just don't want to talk right now.
What do you think, Tara?
I think, Lucinda, you will fall asleep a lot easier tonight if you guys have a conversation now. Even if you just listen to him, listen to what he's got to say.
Okay. I feel like you're constantly trying to, like, impress everyone else but me.
I love you and I want to, like, build a future together and do things together and travel. Do you think, like, I'm being disingenuous? Like,
No, I think you are being genuine. He understood that he needs to be a bit more serious with me, and I'm sure he will.
Same thing I've said about Chloe and Tasia and Nate. I'll say to Lucinda, if you acknowledge the red flags and you proceed anyways, hey, don't know what to do, don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. The good part, where was I going with that? The joy? The good part of experiencing these things on a TV show is that you know your own experience, but then you can also go back and watch what happened to you and maybe learn from that. And to a degree, you can tell that Lucinda has learned from her first time being on Love Island. I hope that the second time she's learning some more things about her, because Zach, maybe one day Zach will be the one, because he does have some redeeming qualities here and there, but overall his personality is trash. And it's not to say that if everybody dislikes your partner, you shouldn't be with them, but it would cause me to just stop and look a little bit deeper and then decide, okay, with everything that I know and everything that I'm hearing from other people, am I still content with my decision, right? I think that they are still young, so listen, we're bound to make mistakes in our 20s. It just is what it is. Even in your 30s, damn near to the day we die, we're going to be making mistakes, okay? She thankfully has the luxury of getting to watch it back. And hopefully, either she will see that she deserves better, or Zach will see that he will need to act better. The next day, we have Nikia, who is talking about how she and Andy have been progressing sexually. However, Andy, you know, in a relationship standpoint, he's not really feeling it.
My flower garden got touched last night. Did he enter the flower garden? Did you touch his snorkel? Mm-hmm.
Are you guys exclusive yet?
No, I'm holding out as long as possible. We have a lot of sexual chemistry and we laugh with each other. There's things in a relationship that outweigh those positives. She's 21, which is a trip because I feel like I'm like a couple years, like 3-4 years away from having children.
So I am aware that people don't have the same perspective of sex that I do. And I'm not even saying that they had sex. They didn't have sex, right? But this is of the sex nature. To some people, sex just doesn't mean anything, right? But if you are in a situation where you know the person you're engaging with is interested in you romantically and you're either on the fence or you're not on the same page at all, why engage sexually with them? To me, I don't feel like that helps the matter at all. Even if Nikia was one of those girls who didn't think sex was like, okay, now we're together, she obviously does have feelings for Andy. That goes without saying. So to get sexual with him, you would assume he would think that is going to strengthen the connection that she has with him. If he's not there, he needs to tell her that. And in this episode, eventually he does tell her, but in this episode, he was going around telling everybody but her. And I'm just like, how does this help? It really doesn't help. So then Savannah has been having an eye on Andy, right? And he wants to, she wants to talk to him. He's engaging in the conversation more so to gauge where he's at with Nikia rather than seeing if he can progress with Savannah.
I definitely get on with Nikia better than everyone else here.
Yeah.
And that's like, I love you, Sav, but like,
Yeah.
The fact that I'm 27 and she's 21, we're at severely separate times in our lives.
I just heard Sav kind of say, like, yeah, I think age would be a big thing between you and Nikia. What are you, a freaking relationship therapist? You don't know shit. Look where you are right now.
What are you playing at, you Bro, I could drown her in the pool.
Andy's concerns are absolutely valid. I think that, sometimes you do need a sounding board. So, okay, talking to other people before you talk to your person, it's not wrong. But it seems like this is something that he's been thinking about for a long time. He has. And then I want to make sure that I'm understanding correctly. Does he have an issue with the fact that Nikia is inexperienced or Nikia is 21? Because her being 21 has always been the case from the time that you coupled up with her. So that's on you. But if after coupling up with her, you realize, okay, the age isn't necessarily the issue. It's the fact that this girl just doesn't have the experience that I would like for my partner. I can hear him on that. I can. It doesn't help that Nikia has a very stank attitude, which makes her come across immature. So on top of her being so much younger than him, her demeanor definitely isn't conducive with the type of partner that he claims he's looking for. So luckily, he didn't drag on the conversation too long. He actually has the conversation with Nikia, and Nikia was not having it.
I think I'm pretty concerned about how this is going to play out on the outside world.
Okay. I just feel like it's weird that this has come up straight after you've chatted to Sav, though. Like,
okay.
She's... Do you think she's in a desperate situation now, though, that she will plant things into your head because she has nowhere else to go? Like, do you see that? In future reference, if you had any worries about us, like, I would prefer you didn't say it to someone who's trying to steal you.
In this conversation, actually throughout the whole day, there's a few things about Nikia that do concern me. One, the fact that she's so distrusting of Savannah that she's distrusting of Savannah or she's insecure within her own relationship, that she feels like Savannah can plant seeds in this big man's head, big man, late 20s, and convince him to sway away from her. I'm like, girl, he's a big man. He can make his own decisions. Come on. Like, let's be for real. And then her snarky remarks. I understand she doesn't really like some of the girls in the villa. That's your prerogative. We ain't gotta like everybody in this life, okay? But the way that you badmouth certain people who were once your friends, even your actual friends, the way that you talk about them would be a concern for me if I was pursuing her, because how then are you gonna treat me whenever we are at a point of contention, She has a very sharp tongue, and Andy calls it feisty. And I know that there's this thing of like, oh, I like a feisty woman. Okay, until that feist turns on you, sweetie. Nikia does have some growing up to do. She does. But I also agree with her when she says, you don't know what my plans are for the future, for real. Because he's saying like, oh, with your age, you're probably not ready for what I'm ready for. You don't know that. You don't know that. You have to have that conversation with her to see where her head is at and not just base it on her age. There's a challenge. And in the challenge, everybody gets to share their grievances regarding the other islanders in the villa. I'm just going to put in the ones that I thought were either funny or savage because, honey, some of them were really savage.
You should swap personal training for life-saving because you're clearly obsessed with red flags.
Don't worry, there's someone out there for everyone, but for you, it's a therapist.
We all know that your feelings for Kale were as fake as you are here.
I might only last 2 minutes, but apparently 2 minutes with me is better than 10 days with you.
You guys need to check your business hours because Nikia is closed, but Andy is well and truly open.
It is very clear that there is a divide in the groups of women. Savannah and Lucinda tend to be the gossip girls of the villa. It makes sense based on the guys that they gravitate to in the villa as well. So I don't blame Nikia for not wanting to share her status with those girls because when you tell them, you've told the world, right? My only thing is like you cannot like somebody and then not and still not be like this mean. Like Nikia's mean. Again, that's her prerogative. It is what it is. I'm just thinking from the perspective of if I was around this girl, I don't think I'd be able to keep my tongue. Like I'd have to call her out like you're mean. I don't think she's a bully or anything like that, but yeah, she's not nice. But anyway, she's proud of it. She's like, I'm cool with being a nice queen. That doesn't bother me. And everybody's like, yeah, we're aware that she's a bitch, but that's just who she is. So, hey, they know her better than I do. I'm watching a TV show. They're experiencing her in real life. So, happy days. The episode ends with a surprise dumping. And I thought it was hilarious that the options were, one, up to Trent. And the options were, you could choose to couple up with either Tasia or Savannah because they are the 3 single people in the villa. Or, if you know that there is no connection between the 2 women, you can decide to eliminate yourself. Now, we know there's no romance between either of the women. And he even says that in his speech. But then he's obviously not going to dump himself. Let's be for real. Separate himself from Zach? He would never. So he is like, yeah, I'm going to partner up with Savannah. I expected it. They've known each other longer. Love Island is all about relationships. It's a popularity contest. Come on. Then Savannah is going to be like, oh, earlier this day, I wanted to tell him that I still had feelings for him. Do you think this is a sign? No. It's not. It's not a sign. He didn't do that for you. He did that for himself, baby. He wanted to save himself. I don't know where you go off thinking that this is a sign. If there was a sign, he would have come and told you earlier that, hey, you know, maybe we ended things prematurely and whatever. He's saying it when his life is on the line. Of course, he's going to say whatever sounds good, babe. He's not into you like that. Savannah, girl, come on. You've already learned with Trent what the deal is. Why are we going back there? What's the deal with Trent? Because these girls are not seeing what we're seeing, child. They're really not. Also, I feel like I have to make a comment before we leave. I'm sorry. Y'all, the Trent stand really like, listen, comments don't get to me like that. But being a fan of Trent, I say, whoa, that's next level disrespect. I do want to talk about, because some people were saying maybe Georgia was put off by Trent because he was making sexual advances. Here's my confusion. Now, let me preface this by saying, if it's not an emphatic yes, it's a no. If it is not an emphatic yes, it is a no, okay? She was never completely down to have sex with this man, so for him to even assume by bringing the condoms, no, totally wrong. My confusion with Georgia is that he had always been towing the line of being sexual with her. And she, as portrayed to us, didn't adamantly shut it down. I would want to know why. That's it. I'm not blaming her saying that, well, of course he would push himself on her because she didn't say no. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I just want to know if that is the reason why she ended up getting the ick for Trent. Why didn't she turn down his advances beforehand? I know she said she would not have sex on camera.
But there were other things that they were talking about, and she like let it slide. Maybe, I guess, like that's just how people flirt in this day and age. This is just me thinking, guys. I'm not making any judgments on her. This is just my thought process. Y'all let me know what you think. Definitely, I gained some perspective in the comments from you guys saying that's probably the reason why like she was starting to not feel him. So yeah, anyways, that's it. As always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.